Welcome to iPaaS Central. I'm Will Tonkin, one of the founding members, and as a flow builder and iPaaS application architect myself, I hope you find value in what we're creating here. iPaaS Central was designed to provide iPaaS training through flow demonstrations, downloadable flows, training guides, and block diagrams. We currently support the iPaaS and conversational AI platforms from one of the best companies for service, reliability, and that really cares about their customers. That company is Team Dynamics. Their products and vision really stand out, and we are proud to work with their amazing platform. Good day, everyone. Today's lesson is on PowerShell and how to use it more effectively within iPaaS. Have you ever had issues sorting the output from a PowerShell script within iPaaS? Maybe you've experienced times when the indexes of output items from a PowerShell script shifted. I can tell you that we certainly did. We ended up exploring different means of controlling the output from our PowerShell scripts in order to always get the predicted data elements out in a consistent and well-formed manner. This exploration finally yielded a means to have our data always end up in the form of an iPaaS data table or iPaaS group. Let's dig in and discuss the steps to achieve this outcome. So, unlike other flow development, for this case, we almost work backwards. First, we'll start with discussing what we need for inputs and outputs to the PowerShell script. In our example, we will have two inputs. They will be first name and last name. Our desired output will contain full name, total number of characters in the full name, and finally, a username. Once we have these inputs and outputs, we'll need to construct the skeleton of our PowerShell script, defining those inputs and outputs. Here we have what our PowerShell script is going to look like for our example. As you can see, we have our input here at the top, inside this param declaration. Then we will do some processing here in the middle. Finally, near the end here, we will construct the output. We will create our output object with the output parameters that we initially discussed. These are output full name length, and output username. Then lastly, we'll simply supply the output settings object that will be returned to the flow. When this PowerShell script runs in test mode, we'll get the following sample output, giving my name for input in this example. So here you can see the JSON structure of what the PowerShell returns to the flow. We'll need this a little bit later. Essentially, what we'll do in our flow is create an output group container and use this JSON as the sample data to create its structure. We do this in order to perfectly match the output object from PowerShell. After the PowerShell step runs, we can then assign this output group to the contents of what was returned from the PowerShell script. Let's go ahead and open iPaaS and walk through this. So the first thing we need is our input. So let's drag a group over to the canvas from the data elements section in the toolbox. We'll simply name this input. Then we'll drag two properties over. The first will be called first name. I'll set this to my first name, Will. The second we'll call last name. Again, I'll use mine, Tonkin. So now we have our input defined. Next, let's drag over a PowerShell connector from the Connectors and Messaging Elements section. Let's open up the details on the PowerShell script and add in the code we talked about earlier. We also need to define our inputs. So for first name, we'll select our input group and first name property. Then we'll do the same for last name, selecting the input group again and then the last name property. Now let's go ahead and save changes and exit out of the PowerShell script. At this point, we need to test our PowerShell script and capture the output data in JSON format. To view the rest of this video, you need to become a registered user with iPaaS Central. It's free, quick, and simple. Registered users get access to full-length videos of flow building projects, showcases, and tips and tricks. Registered users also will receive our monthly newsletter highlighting new concepts and material. In addition, you'll also get access to our library of downloadable flows, templates, and how-to guides. So visit iPaassCentral.com now, then click Register.